What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast. This is another special episode of the weekend preview with our beautiful co-hosts here, Earl, Max, Jay, and myself. There's a couple of things to go over. So since our last conversation, OKC has moved on to the finals. Indiana moved up to 3-1 against the Knicks, and the Knicks fired back by blowing them out in Game 6. Or Game 5, I should say. My bad. I apologize. So, a lot of things are going on. The Knicks and the Pacers currently play tomorrow, and I believe at 8 p.m. Is that the?
I think all the games are at 8 p.m. for no good reason. So yeah.
No, I think that's honestly an ideal time to put an NBA game on because everybody's home, everybody's there to pay attention to it. So I do think 8 p.m. is like a valid time.
Why? Like why all? Like there's not one afternoon game, not one 7:30.
I mean, you got to think about it. Like out west, it's probably not 8 p.m. It's probably like 5 p.m.
No, it's definitely not 8 p.m. out west.
That's what I'm saying.
Just why have they never done this before? I don't think that's standard protocol for the playoffs. But anyways,
well, I think they're trying something new. I think it's fine. I personally think it's okay. I do not have a complaint against it in the slightest. I will say that I am taking careful steps right now. I know I'm a Knicks fan, and I know I tend to go crazy, but I'm taking a new approach to things, and I'm just gonna let this. I'm just gonna let this play out. I'm gonna let what's happened happen. And by the way, I just want to shout out the Knicks defense really quickly before anything, because last night I was telling this to you, Earl, before I hopped off the phone with you. I think I could make a genuine case to say that we haven't played a good game since the Boston series. New York in particular, except for this game. And I think this has been the best defense that we've been playing that has been played in the playoffs so far by us. If we're able to mimic this into Game 6, sky is the limit. But we also have to keep in mind that Tyrese Halliburton's not going to have 8 points next game. Pascal Siakam's not going to be as cold that game. We have to force them to be cold. And that's what we did the other night. If we can continue that force, if we continue that defense, I can maybe see a case to where we go on to Game 7. But if we go back and we revert to how we've been playing for the rest of the series, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah,
we got to come out with some fire. There's already fire, but there's got to be even more.
I feel like it's been a lot of Knicks glaze and start this episode, so I'll balance this off. Congrats to the Knicks, man. Real talk. I'm not even trolling.
Do we need to talk about the Knicks first, or should we talk about the team that actually won their series first?
Whoa, that's where Omar started. I was just saying we're already here. We're already here.
This was so boring.
Anyways. Look, I'll say this, man. Shout out to the Thunder. They look very serious. I was one person. I will admit, we do this on the show. When we are wrong or we're proven right or we're proven wrong, we come on here and we talk about it. So, me personally, I didn't know if OKC was mature enough to take that next step. And every single round, when they've been faced with some type of adversity, they've been punched in the mouth. They always have responded well. So, I will say, I'm proud of him. Like, my biggest key this series was Jalen Williams, which he had a way better series in the previous round. And people try to attack me for it, saying that J-Dub could play better. I truly meant it. Like, J-Dub is the second option on OKC, and he has to be consistent. And he was this round, and they got business done. So, congrats to OKC. What Shea's been able to do as, like, really, what he's like 25, 26 years old. Young leader for that team. It's been absolutely incredible to watch. I know people try to give him the foul baiter title, whatever. It's part of the game, man. He's just mastered it. And his game is more than that. Like, he's a really elite mid-range shooter. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, all your favorite players, he has attributes of that. Like the Kobe's, Jordan fans of the world. He has mastered that mid-range, and so has your favorite player. So, shout out to Shea. I'm looking forward to the finals, whoever it is. I think it's going to be a great series regardless. We have 2 new franchise faces in the final, so I'm excited to see how they respond. And it's new for everybody. I think that's the fun of it.
Yeah, I think OKC has by far been maybe the most – well, I can't say the most impressive team this class. I think that would be the Pacers, but they've earned their spot here. Even if people like Omar say it's boring basketball, good basketball is good basketball. And the way that team plays defense is ridiculous. I mean, beyond just guys like Lou Dort and Chet Holmgren, who obviously are very good individual defenders in their own right, that team plays 5-man connected, ball on a string defense. And a lot of that credit goes to them. A lot of that credit goes to Coach Dagnall. He has that team looking like we all thought they could. I mean, I think for the last couple of years, really since SGA kind of came into his own as like a top 10 player in the league, people have been saying that if this OKC team can get everything right, they could absolutely be the championship favorite. Like, this could be a super team. And I think we're seeing that right now. Obviously, the Nuggets took them to 7, but the fact that they've come out of this very stacked Western Conference and took down the Timberwolves in 5 shows just how good this team is and how they're really coming into their own. And obviously now championship windows are shorter than ever. So while there is a lot of pressure for them to close out this run and win the title this year, I think they're going to be the favorites regardless of whether they play Indiana or New York. This is definitely a team that I could see running it back next year, running it back the year after that. I know we said that about Denver and it didn't necessarily happen. We said that about Boston last year and it hasn't happened yet. But I think this team of any super team that we've seen in the last couple of years is in the best position to at very least run it back in 2026, maybe 2027. But with the new second apron that we like to talk about a lot on this show, that, success in 3-4 years is far from guaranteed. Guys are going to need contracts. J-Dub is going to need contract. Chet's going to need a contract. You're going to have to pay these guys eventually. And as the Celtics are running into now, you can't pay everyone forever. So a lot of pressure on them, certainly. But the fact that they made it this far shows that this team they're reaching their true potential. And I think we can all admit that an OKC team playing at the top of their potential can absolutely win an NBA championship. And I think they're going to be the favorites no matter what happens.
Yeah, Max is spitting absolute facts right now.
But yeah, to go off what Max said, this is definitely the best super team that we've seen in years, and it's an organic super team. They weren't built off money. They were built from the ground up by trading, by drafting good players, by having a competent GM, by putting all your faith in a good star. Like what Earl said, SGA does everything that the greats do, but in his case, he's winning. We've seen guys this age go into a lull where they needed help. They couldn't get to the big one. He is there, 26 years old, won an MVP, won a conference final MVP, on his way to a finals MVP. Like, we're witnessing one of the greatest NBA seasons by an individual player ever. Y'all can talk about the free throw shooting shit. Y'all can talk about the free throw. Y'all can talk about whatever y'all want. We're seeing literal greatness with an individual player and team. They won 68 games. They won 80. You're going to win 80 plus games on this season when it's all said and done, counting the playoffs. So to go with Max said, man, no matter what happens, what a season by OKC. They're going to win the championship most likely. And what Earl said earlier, I wanted to write them off twice. I wanted to write them off when they lost game 1 of the Denver series. I wanted to write them off going into game 7 of that Denver series. And they just only exceeded in those games. They end up blowing Denver out in game 7. They blow Minnesota out in a closeout game. They just keep handling business. So it's no more doubt with me with OKC. They look like the last man standing. They look like the best team. And they're gonna dominate for years to come. Like, They've already paid Dort, which is probably the guy that they may have to end up moving in the future, but we don't got to talk about that now. Dort is already paid. SJ is going to sign whatever the hell they offer him. Chet is going to get paid. J-Dub's going to get paid. They have some decisions to make, but for now, this is going to be the team to beat for the next 2 to 4 years, man. Shout out to OKC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think they have the clearest path to win the NBA Finals. No matter who comes out of the East, I feel like they're no matter what the favorites. So I think is no matter who comes out, I think it's going to be an interesting series for sure. But what I do know, it's going to be one of those series where it looks like it's going to be back and forth during the game, but it's going to be like 4-1 when it's all said and done. Like, it's going to be one of those series where it's like, oh, either game could have flipped, but it's still 4-1. So we'll see what happens.
I think no matter what.
Personally
Personally speaking, like, no matter what team comes out the East, I won't be disrespectful on this show. Whichever team makes it out the East, Knicks or Pacers, I think they have a real shot of competing with OKC. I think both of those teams, even if they go down in leads, they've proven their ability to come back in games and compete at a high level. I think that's attributes that you can take from both sides of the Eastern Conference. And OKC does have their moments where they do get a little bit stagnant. Like, I agree with you. Like, a lot of games, they seem like they're close, like you said, but series end up being like 4-1 or maybe like 2 wins by the other team versus OKC. But they're hard fought games. So I think personally, it goes at least 6. Like, I don't know if it's going to be the sweep everyone's talking about, even though I agree with Max. I agree with everybody. That OKC defense, if you get suffocated, I think that's the key, bro. You cannot get suffocated in that defense. Like, I think I've seen it so many times. I'll bring up the Nuggets, for example. Like, you have to adjust in game. The Nuggets literally just kept feeding Jokic on that same play, that same post-up play at the top of the key. They spammed it 4 or 5 possessions in a row, and I kid you not, 4 or 5 possessions in a row, OKC stole the ball somehow, some way, because they didn't make adjustments. I think this is a team you have to game plan for before the game, in the middle of the game, halftime, and fourth quarter. So whoever comes out, they're going to have to be locked in, man. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot better than what people are describing it to be.
I'm gonna just say this real quick, and then I'm going to go why it goes hand in hand, and why I'm going to talk and bring OKC into this. The Knicks last game, Game 5, were able to control the Pacers' rhythm and their pace, as we've talked about in the show, and as we're trademarking, by the way. So if you use that shit, you pay us. But but to get on to the point, the Knicks were able to control that pace inside of Game 5. The Oklahoma City Thunder, if they want to actually have a chance of winning against the Indiana Pacers, they need to start to control that pacer offense immediately out the jump. And I think that they're the only actual team that can do that on a consistent basis. The Knicks, I'm going to be real, they can't. And they've shown that they can't keep up with Tyrese Halliburton. Mikal Bridges hugging on him the other night. It was the only way that they could actually defend him. So no matter who comes out of this series, I'm rooting for my Knicks 100%. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's 100% a thing the Knicks are going to win. Yada, yada, yada. No, it's looking low. We're staring at a 30% chance of going to the NBA Finals right now. And that's fair to say. So I think that's fair to say. Come on, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that.
Where are you getting the 30% from?
I think the 3% is from. I think 3%. If you asked me yesterday, I would have told you we lose tonight, we get blown out tonight, 0% chance we'd move on. That 3%, that 30% came from last night.
That made no sense. Like, if that was the case, then loading into the game, you would have a 0% chance.
I did. You can ask my dad. I asked him like 3 times. You ready to lose tonight?
30.
Because they gave me that much hope.
They
gave me that much hope.
By the way, Omar, if you guys lost yesterday, the series would have been over.
Yes, I know.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So
it gave me some hope. All right, fine. 15%. No. Jeez. I didn't know I had to limit how hopeful I am.
5.25. 5.25.
No, I'm not giving them that. But
speaking of 5,
I just think, like, bro, I think the Knicks are improving the series. Here. What's up?
We got a clean transition.
What's up?
Speaking of 5.25, that's very close to the number 5, right? 5 is a lot of turnovers. 5 is how many turnovers Julius Randle had in 2 of these.
Oh my God, that's not a clean. You cut me off to do this.
Hey, that's D-Wade DeBron right there.
No, that's not.
Mac.
Julius Randle had more turnovers in this playoff series than he had assists. He had 2 games, both losses.
All right, Max, go off.
He had 6 points on 2 for 11 and 5 points on 1 for 7. He had no blocks the entire series as a 6'9" power forward. He accumulated 13 fouls, which is closer to his total assists than his turnovers, which again was 18. He had 1 very good game when they dominated in game 3 and had a plus 38 that game.
I
His
never
total plus
ever
minus
hear
for
you
the
break
series-
down something about Julius Randle like this
His
before.
total plus minus for the series was
Swipe the
minus
card.
36.
Swipe the card.
The hater
Right
card?
there.
I'm
Go
buying. I'm
in a
buying
5-game
stock.
series
I'm
where
buying
he
stock
got a
too,
plus
man.
38 in one game. I rest my case. Does that look like winning basketball to anyone? I don't know. Call me when he reaches the finals, though. Give me a ring. Y'all know my number. Anyways, what were you saying about the Knicks, Omar?
I'm just
Sorry,
saying.
I was feeling poetic
You
there.
spent more time hating on Julius Randle than actually giving him his flowers.
He played well until he didn't, which is what I said would
To
happen.
be fair, though, Max gave him his flowers, but we had this
When?
conversation. Two things can be right. Julius Randle can have a good round, then he can go absolutely play horrible when it matters the most.
Of course.
And that's what we
When he
did. We
faced
just
the
keep it
real
real.
defense. He's very good against bad defenses. He eats up bad defenses, but when he plays a good defense,
Hey,
this is what
we did also.
I just want to say,
we did also.
we didn't
kinda
have a
say-
center. I told y'all we didn't have a center. They called me a hater. Whatever.
We did say
yeah,
we
Jackson
we
did.
we were with you when we said Lakers in 7. We were on the boat with you. I was
If
taking
you
the
were-
parlays. I
if
was
you
losing
were-
parlays because of that.
If you were on the boat, you were the one right at the beginning, like when you get on the boat, so you can be the first one off.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was.
He was on there, though.
I was on
He
there
was.
though. I was. You can't say I wasn't. But
Speaking
you
of
hopped
boat.
off the boat as soon as Indiana came to town.
Speaking of boats, who do we think is going to win Knicks versus Pacers game 6 tomorrow? There's no transition there. I'm just who we
Who do you guys think will? I'm gonna let y'all go first.
So on our pod that we did the series predictions for the conference finals, I had Pacers in 7,
True.
and I'm
I did too.
gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go
Okay.
Pacers in 7 for that reason. So I have the Knicks tomorrow. They play exactly how they played yesterday. They can damn near win the series. Like, I don't know why Tibbs hasn't been telling them to just pressure the ball the whole fucking series. That's all they had to do.
Because Thibs
Halliburton-
hates rotating.
Yeah, Halliburton's been having all this space to do that weak ass crab dribble moves. He's not dribbling the ball. He's just going in circles, crabbing around screens, just doing his thing. All you have to do is get in his space and get up into him to force him to make bad passes or make passes that he doesn't want to make yet, and just mess up their offense, mess up the flow of the game. And that's what the Knicks did yesterday. Like with any lineup that was out there, looked pretty good. And Brunson
Brunson
he
played
had-
great defense.
Brunson had a two to three bad offensive games in a row in this series. He was amazing yesterday. So the Knicks just play like how they played yesterday, and they finish out the rest of the series like this. Knicks may win it in 7, but I'm gonna just say Knicks tomorrow.
After all that, I got Pacers in 7. Nah, I'm with Jay. We had this conversation. We said Pacers in 7. I literally have it on a receipt that I said Pacers in 7. So we're gonna ride with it. I think Knicks have a lot of momentum. The Pacers, I don't know. I don't know if they're ready to. I don't know if they got what it takes to close it at home. It's a lot of pressure. So we'll see what happens. I definitely think the Knicks are capable of, like Jay said, if they play the same type of game plan from the beginning. And speaking of that, I heard what's it called? Oh, Pascal Siakam. To me, it seems like the Pacers know exactly where they went wrong. I don't know if you guys seen that clip about Pascal.
I gotta
that
say,
reporter.
I disagree.
I mean, about
He
what?
seemed
Them
really
no-
pissed over like a little question. So I don't know if they're. I'm not gonna go out and say that because they literally beat us at home twice. So I'm not gonna go ahead and talk shit like that. But I will say that he seemed to have like lost his composure in that moment, and in some moments, I mean, it really costs you a lot. Sometimes it's just.
in an interview.
Earl,
I love it with the echo.
Wait, am I echoing?
You were echoing when
You
you
have
said
to echo
after all that.
Oh, my bad. I was basically my fault.
You're
No,
good.
but I didn't know you were talking about me. My fault.
Your new room has crazy acoustics.
Yeah,
It was beautiful. We loved it. It was like a
No,
church
but-
choir.
But no, I just think it was one of those moments where a reporter
Yeah.
asks you a question to get a certain reaction to a question you already know the answer to. And everybody does. Oh, Pascal, if you would have played with a little bit more pace, wouldn't he have won this game? Maybe. No, if you play with this exact pace, would you have won that game?
Yeah, actually, I kind of agree with you there. That's pushing it.
Well, that's not what he said, but it was something along basically where they asked a question to get
I
a
did see the
specific
back
answer
and
out of you.
forth. Yeah,
What
he
you-
was looking
yeah.
for a real answer, and it was talking about, I think it was like aggressiveness, and he was like talking about like, oh, like don't you think you should play like this aggressive? And he was like, well, yeah, they outplayed us tonight, and that's what happens in basketball.
So why weren't you aggressive, Pascal?
Yeah,
Why?
why
No,
weren't
just
you
playing.
aggressive? But
Answer the question. No, whoa.
reporters
I'm glad
gotta
we-
chill when it comes to this type of stuff. I don't like that. It's not a good look.
I'm glad y'all are filling me in on this game because where I'm at, we have no television, so I didn't watch a second of the game last night. So I'm glad.
To be fair,
I'm getting this fill in right now. This is why
I actually didn't get to watch the game like that. Real talk. I kind of fell asleep. It was a long day.
I'm just glad to hear we won. I'll be able to watch Game 6, which is good.
Bet. Well, you're gonna be home.
I'll be home. I'm getting home Saturday afternoon, so I'll be home hopefully just in time to watch the game at 8:00.
So either we're having a celebratory 2K night or don't go to sleep because you're sad 2K night. Love it.
No, if the Knicks, okay, depends. If the Knicks lose Game 6 like they lost Game 1, you won't hear from me for probably the whole.
Oh yeah. Wait,
how did y'all lose Game 1? I forgot.
We were up. 14 was
comeback?
it? Yeah, it was like we were up.
Okay.
17
I forgot.
with like a minute left
Gotcha,
or something. And they came back in that one minute. Yeah, if we lose like that, you're not hearing from me.
If the Knicks
I may not even be on the podcast. Real stuff.
I might get on 2K.
Y'all,
if we win, maybe.
You and Jay are gonna have to run it down if that happens again. I'm not gonna lie, you're gonna have to do that.
Hey man, we'll take care of business.
I'm taking a sabbatical if that happens.
Look, I already told Max. I told him if the stakes are high, you lose crazy games, whatever. I'm not going to ask you to come onto a podcast the day after, a couple days later, to do a pod.
Unless
you have a pass.
Unless it's game one, yeah.
Unless it's game one.
Unless it's game one. Now, end of series, everybody gets their time to kind of settle in, take your days, take your podcast days off. Cool.
Except for Jay, because his teams usually aren't in playoff series.
Let me get to my official.
Whoa.
That was so unnecessary.
Yeah,
That was so unnecessary.
I was ready to move on to the next topic, and all I hear is shade. I'm like, what the hell? Let me
that
get
chemistry's going crazy, bro.
We're on the Magic 2026.
Let me get back to this. Let me get back to my prediction. I'm taking this one game at a time. I'm not even going to speak about that game that's possibly on Monday.
Would it be on Monday? Damn.
Yeah, it would be on Monday. But the Knicks have to play with the same exact ball on pressure that we played with on this game. They played on this type of game. It shouldn't go to Monday. Why?
Because if y'all lose, you're definitely not gonna do the pod on Tuesday.
We'll see what happens.
No, I'm saying like that just
yeah, that might not work out, huh?
But Game 7 content.
I would love to see a Game 7. Only reason is because I feel like the NBA kind of knows that the only interesting series right now is the Pacers and Knicks. And I feel like almost every great series in this playoffs has been played by the Knicks, Detroit, the Knicks.
I mean, I don't know. Y'all didn't make it interesting until last game.
There's a lot of
That's
Omar
true.
bias.
I'll say that.
That's not even bias. That's just I don't know where the bias
It's
is.
just not true, bro. You didn't watch any basketball. You know what you did? Oh, Knicks are playing. Oh, Knicks are off?
The Clippers.
Oh, Knicks are playing.
Clippers Nuggets was cinema.
Yeah,
was the best
Nuggets,
series
right. Yes.
Nuggets Thunder.
Currently left. I said currently left.
Thunder was cinema. Like
no, you said playoffs, brother.
Come on.
Yeah, you said in the playoffs. And even if we're going off currently left, there's only 4 teams left. And they won their series,
2.
so of course.
Well, 3, technically.
Okay, yeah, the 3, but yeah. And I would say OKC Denver was a great series.
Clippers Nuggets.
I would say Golden State Houston was a great series.
Great series. Also,
Honestly,
I would
love that.
I would argue that the Pacers.
Let me reframe.
I honestly like the Pacers Cavs series because Tyrese Halliburton was having some crazy games back then too. And then Donovan Mitchell Donovan Mitchell had like 40 points every game.
The only truly bad series was Memphis OKC.
Yes. Lakers was bad too. I'm not.
And Cavs in Miami.
Yeah.
Cavs in Miami.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Cavs Miami was horrendous.
Ooh,
I didn't watch one game of that series.
I watched
didn't
a couple
watch it.
games.
No, y'all missed.
Wait, that was a series. Oh,
I remember when Tyler Hero said that we're not gonna lose 4-0, and then he went out and dropped like 2 points.
I try to tell y'all, bro. Y'all laughed at me, but I will stand on this. I do not care. Hawks would have won one game. I don't care. I hate 100%. That Davion Mitchell decided to be like, I'm this great player in the last minute of the game. Scores like 15 points in the fourth/overtime. I think.
Switched his number to 45 and thought he was Donovan Mitchell.
Like, it was crazy, and then boop, disappeared. Just like that, snapped away.
To be fair, the Heat would have won game 2 if Jovic didn't shoot 1 for 8 from 3.
Jeez.
I'll stand on that. That was not the.
Are they letting him shoot 1 for 8?
I rarely say a game is on one player's shoulders. That game was entirely on Jovic's shoulders, and I will stand on that. He was in there over Wiggins, I'm pretty sure. They played him down the stretch over Wiggins after being 1 for 7 from 3, and they left him wide open in the corner with the game on the line. And guess what? He missed. Then it's on you, pal. Wasn't there also one game shot like 0 for 8 from or like 0 for 5 from 3 on wide open shots?
They were up like
that one's on him.
30 plus or like 20 plus that last game, weren't they? They didn't even the Heat didn't even play with any effort at the end of that series.
No, yeah.
They
put all their effort into playing.
They took Lion down. Tyler Hero was just like this, and then.
But hey, I told y'all that Tyler Hero would have these crazy games in the play-in to get them in, and look what happened. Tell me that wasn't a W call on my part.
Yeah, it was.
That was a W call. Can't lie.
No.
All right. I mean, do we got anything else here for weekend preview?
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one game this weekend, so we kind of previewed it.
Yeah, we did preview it.
I can say this. I'll end with something completely different and random. If you guys are new here and you support the network, we did actually officially launch our store. We have a lot of really cool products. So I'm going to show off some stuff real quick since we have a little bit of time towards the end.
Actually, we actually don't, because our 2-minute drill show is starting in the Beyond the Backboard room, guys. So if you guys want to go ahead and be right over there in about 1 minute, we're gonna get started over there.
I'll put the link in the chat.
I will say,
look in the chat for
shout out to the store. We have some really cool products. We got this nice jersey, which I do have one on the way. It is Nike as well. So nice little chill playoff sports vibes. We got some hats as well. Not bad price, Earl. Really good quality. Clutch 2-3. Shout out to Mark. You know, I mean, that is Jake. That's AI Jake. Look.
Is that AI Jake?
That's Jake from Safe
That's
Farm.
not Jake. Oh.
That's literally Jake.
I love how it says playoff Earl in the back.
Yeah, this one, I had one custom for me, but yeah.
Yes. All right, guys, we're going to be in the other room now. See you guys soon. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.